Mr. Nolte, I understand you want to file for bankruptcy.
Yeah, I believe I do. That's why I want to speak to a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm Attorney Wolf's legal assistant. Ms. Wolf has several offices and she's in court a lot. But she supervises me, and if you have any questions, I can get a hold of her.
Well, okay. First thing is, I've heard that it's harder to file for bankruptcy now than it used to. Is this true?
Yes, it's harder to discharge your unsecured debts in Chapter 7 petition now. You may have to convert to a Chapter 13.
I don't understand that.
Well, in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, your debt from credit cards, medical bills, what we call unsecured credit, can be wiped out. In Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you have to come up with a payment plan on many of the debts.
Chapter 7 sounds like that'd be a better deal.
Here, it's all in this law book. With changes in the law, a means test determines whether you can file Chapter 7 bankruptcy. If your income is below the median income for families of your size in West Virginia, you're exempt from the means test. If you're above the median income, there is a presumption of abuse on your part that you have the burden of disproving. In applying the means test, your average income over the past 6 months is used, regardless of your present actual income. Mortgage and car payments and the amount necessary to pay back taxes and past due support are subtracted. Private and public school expenses for children are limited to $1,500 per child per year. If after deducting those amounts and the living expenses provided in the IRS's national collection standards, you could pay at least $6,000 to unsecured creditors over 5 years. Your only option is Chapter 13 bankruptcy.
This is still rather confusing. I think I ought to be better to speak to Miss Wolf.
She'll tell you the same thing. I'm providing you with legal information, not advice as to whether you should file or not.
If I decide to file, how long will it take? Because I have creditors call me all the time.
As soon as you get all of the information to me. Ms. Wolf may wait until she has 4 or 5 petitions so she can file all of them at the same time. It's easier that way. Then all of the cases are scheduled at the same time. But you can tell the creditors you're filing for bankruptcy and refer them to me.
Well, okay. I've also have written several bad checks and am having to make restitution. Will this be taken care of with the bankruptcy discharge?
Gosh, I'm not sure. I think so, but I'll have to ask Ms. Wolf. But once you file, you can stop making restitution payments until the bankruptcy court decides. Or Ms. Wolf may be able to negotiate a settlement with your creditor.
Okay, I have another problem. That is the state's trying to revoke my contractor's license because I'm behind on child support, and I was wondering if this can be taken care of in bankruptcy court as well.
Child support isn't wiped out in bankruptcy court, but I'm sure that the filing of bankruptcy would cause there to be an automatic stay on the revocation proceedings. So you may get some breathing space and time to make some money.
Okay. I don't have a lot of the paperwork on my debts, but I do have a good memory for as to who I owe and how much.
Well, we'd prefer the paperwork, but we're allowed to take your word for it. After all, you are our client.